Hi traders, this is Shegun Chat 247. I train traders how to trade in harmony with the market. So today we have the weekly trade planning session. I've simplified this actually. The goal of this is to be able to select high probability trades or setups that will move, and then we can apply our strategy. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm using this page because TradingView has this feature to draw the table, and it just makes it very simple and basic. This should be easily understood by anybody. Okay, so the current week starts today, 15th of June 2025. I've got the portfolio selection already done. This is very simple. What I use is the weekly and the daily cumulative number of the currency strength index to rank the pairs, and we've done it from 8 to 1, 8 being the strongest, 1 being the weakest. Okay, but instead of me doing this by myself and just coming in and tell you there's euro yen is buy pair, blah 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 is sell pair, we can do this together just by using these numbers here. And as you can see, euro is the strongest pair on the board, the weakest is the yen. So I straight go for that, EURJPY. Then the next will be euro US dollar. Okay, based on the currency, then the analysis will follow. The reason we do this is because there's a saying that says trade like a technician or think like a fundamentalist, or you think like a fundamentalist and trade like a technician. This is more of our own fundamental thinking, okay, what we cannot see on the chart. But as a technical trader, we go to the chart, we analyze the chart for the fact, because that is what will determine the decision we make at the end of the day. But there's a huge advantage when what we discovered on this page, which is the fundamental side of our own methodology, when it aligns side by side with what the technical or our methodology is telling us. If this is telling us to sell and our methodology is telling us to sell, that is a higher probability trade, and that is the only reason we do this. But it's very rewarding, it's very helpful, it gives us a simple way of making things happen. So I'm doing this now. So euro US dollar is the next one, and I'm going to follow the same pattern now. Okay, so I've built up this list. Just I don't have to populate everything because we do not trade every pair. Even some of the pairs here, we don't trade them. But the strongest pair are the strongest and the weakest. I tend to do the first two and the last two. Sometimes we can spread it. If we have majors in there, we can spread it to the first two and the last three. That way, if you are having both the technical and the fundamental picture looking the same, you have a stronger pairs. So in terms of analysis, I'm going to try and do the euro yen. I'll do the euro yen, the CAD yen, the pound dollar, the euro dollar, and if time permits, I'm going to do the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, let's start the analysis. The euro Japanese yen based on the portfolio selection. The 1 hour chart. I'm only doing the 1 hour chart because this time frame will look after the intraday and the medium term traders. Okay, the idea is, and I've repeated this on so many occasions, that as a trader or as a short term to medium term trader, what we need to be looking for when we are about to execute our trades is to the next 8 hours direction. Okay, what is the likely direction for the next session or 2 sessions maximum? Why do you even need to think of the the next session if this session is still ongoing. So that is why trading this way is going to help us be disciplined in our expectation, but also we don't have to think too far ahead. Okay, there's room for that. So the euro yen, I've done the wave structure and everything, so this is going to be super fast. Okay, we have a major low here, so we start from that, and based on our portfolio selection, this is the most bullish pair on our trading on our portfolio selection. Then we start from here, which is the zero wave structure. We have a structure here that is 2. We had another structure, prolonged consolidation, pullback. And 4, when we look at this pullback, there's no trend changing pattern here. We only have one here. You can see they tried, but the price did not go below there. So no changing pattern. Then when they gave the last wave, you can see there's no structure, only normal pullback, normal pullback, normal pullback, normal pullback. They kept on dragging this because people wants to sell. People were eager to sell the euro yen. Okay, and the more they tried, the more they pushed the price, and this can be painful when you are trying to short something that is not coming down. So price eventually made a high of 5. How do we know this high is in place? Because we have a structure. Okay, higher, lower, low, higher, lower, low, higher, lower, low. So what we have right now is a clean uptrend with no trend changing pattern. And this is very important. Okay, what I'm about to say next. But this I is not yet valid. What we need to see, and I'm going to explain this very quickly. Once you have, for those that have been following me and for my student, I'm doing this for them as well, because the wave structure 5, which is the momentum high, must have this quality. This, when you have a high like this and you're saying this is 5, it is not yet 5 until you have what we call, I'm drawing on this chart, okay, what we call the change of character. That's your change of character first. Then a pullback. This pullback could go above here as long as it doesn't go above it. If it does go above here, they continue to push the price. We won't count this as the major momentum high. Okay, we can count it as internal momentum high, but that is not a major momentum high. You need to see a major momentum high to signify the high of that wave structure is in place. Then we need to see this, the break of structure. So what does that mean? Okay, for those that count the alternative counts that we use for trend changing pattern, this will be 0, 1, 2. Then we can say the high of the momentum I is the trend changing pattern, or a momentum II. This low will be trend changing pattern low, and we can expect 3 types of breaks. This is all about what I'm sharing in terms of the wave of structure, wave of success methodology, that this gives us a structure of how we read the market. So if price should go above the high, we expect 2 things, only 2 things: 1 break and a reverse, or 3 breaks, which is a trend. Okay, so I hope that is very clear. So coming back to what we have, coming back to the euro US dollar. So what do we have here? This is a high. I'm expecting, I've seen this, what I've just explained. Okay, I've seen the correction, and we are expecting at least a break of this low, okay, to certify this high as the structure high. Well, you can see what has happened here as well. Price has broken this high. So if we start going back above here and we start trading above this area, be careful buying at the high. If you want to buy this is no longer a good area for me to buy. And the reason I say that is because the risk, there's no technical reference here. All this, if I'm buying here, I have to accept the risk of this low. And if you look at it, is not, it's just too much. Okay, so be careful buying. The ideal trade is if we have a failure here, you can fail the market to break this low, then we can look for an attempt to break the high, because that will give us that will make this high satisfied to be a momentum high, which must be bought. Okay, so that is the Euro Japanese yen. Next one we're going to go into is the Euro US dollar. This one I actually traded the Euro US dollar a lot this week, more than usual. Okay, normally we trade the yen pairs, but the Euro US dollar presented good opportunity, and a I did a multi-time frame analysis on the long term, the medium term, and the short term analysis on the Euro US dollar. For those that didn't see it, I think it's somewhere here, long, medium, and short term analysis. And I did a follow up video as well on the Euro US dollar. So I'm not going to draw too long on this one. We had a short on Friday. Expected the correction to take place, and it has. Okay, and where we are right now, this is a shorter version actually of what is going on in the euro yen. The only difference is this wave structure here is not complete, so we may or we may not, okay, have the 5 yet, because if this price should not come back above the daily high, and I don't want to say too much because there's a bigger analysis that I've done on the euro US dollar. I'm just doing the price action or the wave structure analysis now. Okay, the ideal setup is for these for those that want to sell. If price fail to take this high, which is the 11569, then selling a downside continuation is valid based on the daily break. Okay, we have a bigger analysis on this already. Okay, if the price should break, because we have already come here, if you look at this, there's a middle point here, which is, it's not a normal pullback on the 15 minute, it is. Okay, so this here has already certified a break to the upside. Then we've seen a valid pullback on the 1 hour. If we break above here, you can provisionally actually be looking to buy and keeping stop in, just pushing the stop along with the price. But the euro wants to retrace. I can't explain why I'm saying that, because I've done so many analyses on it. The euro needs to retrace. This market is a discounting mechanism. Okay, they gave it a lot of move for this move on Thursday, and we can see when this starts to happen, we may have a deeper slide. And our expectation, based on what we said, is this weekly structure here to be the area where we can see more vigorous buying coming into the euro US dollar. However, you trade what you see, not what you think. If price starts to go above the daily first break structure high, we can look to buy into that move. Okay, so that is the euro US dollar. We go straight into the next one is the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Very interesting. This is very simple, super simple. I didn't trade card much last week, but it's going well. Okay, this is a trend. You can see it's very, I'll probably say, very clumsy the way the price has been moving, and over the last 4 to 5 months, it's been okay. You have some sudden burst and some long consolidation, especially for intraday trader. Well, it's been moving. When it's moving okay, but it's not comparable to the euro in terms of the movement that we've seen in the euro. But what we have here is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 2 to 3 has been the extended wave. So this one here, we are not expecting it to be extension, but from our expectation, we are looking forward to seeing a break above the 3 here. Okay, and if that happens, you're going to see a higher high on the euro Japanese yen. So we are thinking about everything holistically. This here satisfies, not yet. Okay, we need to see another higher high that failed to satisfy the 5 before we can see a pullback. Okay, so be careful. This is a bullish market. in the portfolio selection. It's telling us to buy. The technical picture, we are coming to the high and we already add the extended move between the 2 and 3. We don't have a trend changing pattern. No, I tell a lie. This is a trend changing pattern. Actually, the 3 to 4 is a trend changing pattern to this trend. Okay, 1 and 2. So expect the same scenario. Are we going to have one break? This also is a trend changing pattern low for the bigger move before for this one. Okay, so everything is lining up nicely. We have 1, 2, 3. Then if you have a break above here, all we have to do is we can counter it. We can counter trade between those breaks, but you need to understand that single break and a failure will cause the price to come down. First break and second break will become a trend, and you should expect the third break. Okay, so that concept is that is the basis of our trend trading, and we don't want to come out of that, because that is the way, that is the framework that we use to analyze the market. Okay, so expectation is for price to break the momentum high, and we'll observe how the price behave above the momentum high. So that is the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. I'm not suggesting any kind of selling here for now unless we see a break above here. Above here, if we have a failure move, then we can look to short, maybe from a lower time frame. Okay, so that is the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. The next one I'm going to do is the US dollar Canadian. No, let's do the pound dollar, and that will be the last one actually, because I don't think I have enough time. So we look at the pound dollar. One thing, I haven't drawn the waves on this one, but the pound is slowing down, as you can see. Not that the trend is changing straight away, but look at this. That was a brilliant move after a trend changing pattern. There, this high. Okay, even if I look at it properly, 1, 2, 3. Then we had the pullback. That pullback did not do anything. It only came back to test the high. Then they broke the high, 1, 2, 3, and the high. So we may experience a drawdown, as in a pullback, to come and do the same thing. So I'm going to leave you with these eyes here. These eyes and low. Let's make this big. Okay, I'm not going into deep analysis because I haven't done that before. I don't really want to waste my time on this. This eye, this one has done its job. Momentum I, or internal momentum I, created a trend changing pattern or structural point and full wave structure to the upside. That's a trend. The same thing happened here, full wave structure plus a continuation confirmation. So where would they buy this from? For me, because of what has happened, this is the structure. For the price action to be valid, I'm saying that because that is the way the market moves. They need to come and break the structure, which corresponds with this high, and that will settle everything. If the buyers can come in again, move the market, or fail. So that is it for today, the 15th of June 2025. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. My name is Shogun Chat 247, and I hope you have learned something, enjoyed it, and hopefully it has been helpful. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and I hope to update some of the trades during the week. And God bless, and I wish you a successful trading week.